Hello there YouTube, this is Transformers fan G138, and I'm here with a video review of Transformers Generations Arcee. IDW style. No, not really. This is very G1 style. And I highly like this thing. Even more than I did when I originally opened it, because I just discovered something which is kind of cool. One thing I don't like, these swords. There's no place to store them, other than on the car. And honestly, I do not like them. I don't like them here, I don't like them there, I don't like them, Sam I am. Anyway, I don't like these. At all. Although, they can, in fact, fit inside the hand of a standard 5mm peg with closed fingers. If you have the open fingers, forget it. It's not going to work. But, it's kind of cool. Maybe I'll give these to somebody else. Just for fun. They can also be wielded as guns, although they really don't look like guns at all. Anyway, they're not bad looking. They're just, I don't feel they're Arcee. Unless they were like orange and red, and then maybe I could buy them as the IDW ones. But they're blue. Here we have the car. We have the this is really cool, and I'm surprised Hasbro hasn't got a recall on it. Yeah, it's softer plastic, but that's still pretty sharp. Maybe they're within legal reasons. Also, it looks like this part can be easily detached, so if there is a recall, maybe Hasbro's just going to send out a replacement part. Which is always possible. Because there have been a few of those replacement part gimmicks these days. They're a little bit cheaper. So we got these cool painted headlights up here to match this cool blue. Have the standard original movie look. Very, very cool. Nice Autobot symbol up front. On the underside here, this is what's really cool. They don't show the weapons plugging in down here on the instructions at all. Nowhere. They only show them plugging into the car here. But I was just playing around with this and I'm like, I wonder what that's for. Because I noticed this wasn't symmetrical, and I'm like, And I just started playing around, and the gun plops in there, and I'm like, well, if one goes in there, I wonder where the other one goes. So I started looking around, and I saw another port, although I can't seem to get it back out on this one. That's the second gun. Also, that's the one on the back of the Chromia's box. That says, second weapon not included. So, overall, pretty cool looking gun, very G1-esque, very highly like that. Very good gun, very poor swords. Arms, pretty cool. Rolling, no, just, it doesn't actually roll. The back wheels here are the friction pegs, very similar to the Transformers Prime wheels. They just pop on, snap on. The front wheels are pegged, so they spin fairly well. They actually roll, where the back ones don't. Overall, pretty cool. Yeah, so we got this paint job here. I'll get into that, and it looks very interesting. I'll also get into that later. So, nice blue window, open convertible, awesome look. Highly like the vehicle mode, minus the rolling. Although, if you set it on a shelf like this, it's not going to roll away. Transformation time. Arms down. Pull this gun out, maybe. There we go. Pig's in right here, by the way. Handle just slides in there. So, cool gun storage. So, we'll pull down the arms first. Or actually, sorry about that. We'll unsnap the legs. I like how these legs transform, by the way. They're very unique how they're molded, and they actually just snap right into the frame itself. Like, the frame actually snaps around the foot. Very, very cool and creative, Hasbro. So, we'll start by bringing these up, in like this. Then we'll bring the arms up. Next, we'll bring this assembly up as we bring the legs down, in, and back out. What this does is it forms the hips. So, now we have these. So we'll bring this panel up, slide the arms both down, then up here somewhere, this panel unpegs, unsnaps from each of the sides, and these arms should eventually, right, so this panel bends, double hinged. These holes up here on our shoulders will peg over these panels. Like that, and then this peg will snap into there, forming her body. Next, we have this panel. We'll just rotate it up and in. And there we have Arcee in robot mode. Yes, she's very backpack heavy, but not surprising. Oh, yeah, flip the feet down. Very backpack heavy, but not surprising. As, well, it's Arcee. You can't, she's so thin, you really have a hard time making these. Although, the weight down here really helps hide some of that kibble. Especially if it's on a white background. Haha, I'm on a white background. Nope. But, these shoulder pads are pretty cool looking. I wish the wheels kind of rotated in, like the artwork on the comic book. And I wish the hands would spin. But the arm is so thin, I don't think they could actually do that reasonably. So, Arcee in her G1 glory. Very much to me more G1 than the IDW. Very good posability. Let's start with the foot. Forward and backward rotation on a hinge. Over 90-degree knee. I think that's it anyway. So the kibble actually doesn't get in the way at all. You get a knee swivel. No hip swivel, but you do have a double hinge rotation here. Somewhat limited due to the largeness of the hip. But overall, nice. No waist swivel, unfortunately. But, oh well. Ball and socket joint for the shoulder. Swivel. And a ratchet type, friction ratchet joint on the elbow. Plus a ball and socket joint head with ridiculous amount of motion. Another downside. When this came in, it had a little plastic lip over her eye on this side of the head. I actually had to take an X-Acto knife and cut it out because it was covering her entire eye. A little bit of a X-Acto blade and it fell right out and is all good. But I was a little like, why is that even there? The pink they use on her face is more skin tone than the pink they used on the rest of her, which is kind of cool. That's good to see. They did it right. It's more human colored skin, actually. Not quite, but a little bit. So, a little disappointed that there's no Autobot symbol on her chest, but overall, very good profile. The downside, I don't like the size of her hips compared to her shoulder. Although, looks fine. Not as big a fan. Plus, I think if this section wouldn't look so bad if this was actually truly painted correctly without any bleed through. It's not bad. I appreciate the look. And you can actually see her back profile here too. She's working it. Prowl might have his child after all. If you read the internet, you know what I'm talking about. So, pretty cool. Good motion. Nice head. Nice everything on this figure. Also, I like how they didn't paint the bottom of the feet, so you don't have to worry about the scrapage. The feet are angled, although she stands fine like this. This is supposed to be how she is according to the feet where they sit, but I'm actually pleased with the amount of back flip she has. Very happy with that. Very large range of motion, even with these very tiny feet. And then we have weapons. This is where this figure breaks down for me. They only peg in about halfway into the hand. They blocked the bottom of the hand so that the hilt of the swords can't travel any further down. Same with the guns. She can't even reach the trigger. This to me is a huge failure. This to me detracts from the figure more than if they had painted her a different color, because this to me breaks down in the display. Like if I have her holding a pistol like this, to me that looks terrible. And I have to implore Hasbro, they made all the pictures look very good. They had her holding them at such angles that you couldn't tell this was the big flaw. And I think the reason they did this, because it was the thickness of the hand. This actually helps strengthen the hand. If you wanted to, you could take a knife to it. Me, I don't like modifying the figure unless I have a duplicate. And I'm very disappointed in that. So she got some major points off for that part. And that's true for both hands, both weapons. Even if they made the handles on the weapons a little shorter, I would have been fine with that. But no, I'm really disappointed. The swords can clip up here, although albeit pretty difficult, because they don't want to. They can, well, supposedly. You can also clip things to her hips, so there is a decent place to store her sidearm. Like, she can reach down and grab it. She can't quite grab it. Oh, maybe she can. There, she's got a gun. And there you go. She can actually grab her weapons from her side holster, which I think is pretty cool. I'll probably display her like this with the pink, so you really, it's hard to see the handle, but it's pretty cool. I think the figure is very good, except for the swords and the way they fit into their hands. You see them a lot less with the sword, because the way the sword is done up, but I'm very disappointed with the hands. I can't say that enough. And the swords can obviously peg in here too. I don't know why you'd want them there, but for me, it's a very good G1 representation of Arcee. I like it overall, even with the hand issue. And she fits in pretty good scale with Classics Hot Rod, size-wise. Although, I always thought she was a little shorter than Hot Rod, but this guy isn't bad. The scale is pretty good. Plus, we can have some fun with IDW Rodimus here, aka Cloud Rodimus, and display these. I think he's a little too large now compared to her, but minor details, right? Yeah, I know, right? Minor details. But they look great to each other, just like Ironhide and Chromia look pretty good with each other. So, here's the gang. We're missing Firestar, Alita 1, and I think there's one other, and I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Also, we have the fan-built Windblade, but unfortunately she is downstairs attached to my tree. Otherwise, I would be glad to show her off with these guys. Overall, very good figures. I highly recommend both of these two. Now, there is one last thing I have. What did she score in the ranking? Now, this is out of 10. And this includes everything I've talked about. Specifically, part of the figure. And Arcee receives a 7.4 out of 10. Which is not too bad. Considering Cloud Rodimus got a 7.8. Cloud Rodimus got a 7.6. Alita 1, not Alita, wow, Chromia had a 7.3. So overall, I think they were both very successful figures. I applaud Hasbro for actually making them, finally. And I cannot wait to get these two in my display. So, I think they look really sharp, great posability. Both of them. And I am ready to go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please post a comment down below, and I will be glad to get back to you on those. If you have any requests for video reviews, videos I haven't done, but I have a figure, please post down below or send me a message. I will let you know if I have the figure or not. Oh, that was not good. But, there you have it. Arcee, Chromia. Thanks for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed.